So, my dear Virgo, the sun now is in Scorpio, the transformation, death, giving the light to the moon, which is in your sign. And here we see the Hermit, Luca Pacioli, the magician in its own right, because he was really good with numbers. So the combination today is that the number 13, which is the Wheel of Fortune, the 10, right, and the 3, the Empress, turns then together into a 4, and the 4 is the Emperor. And the 9 and the 4 turns again into the 13. So there is a double or like a hidden transformation within this combination. But we understand very clearly that when the sun, which is the beingness or the personality that we shine out into the world, right, now through Scorpio, through the transformation, and remember, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is this month of November a big player. He's moving from Capricorn into Aquarius for 20 years, right? And so there is a big shift happening just through that. But that you have with the Scorpio energy, that kind of combination, right, where the 4 is left, is because the 9 always as a number gives itself up. So here we have Apollo and Leo, and of course we always see that here in Salvador Dali's tarot, the card is, the sun card is a little somber, right? And so we understand here this is actually a rebirth. He explains that we are born, and that's when we come under the star of where the sun was in that zodiac sign. We come there to this world, but we have to give ourselves a second birth, and the birth of that is who you truly are. And so somehow here through Scorpio you are able to really let go the old and give yourself a new birth. Then the moon in your sign, right? That means that the feelings and subconscious energies that are still deep rooted within you are gonna get the light through Scorpio, through this transformation, and you're able to release things. And here we see the moon card, and the moon is actually the sign of Pisces, which is the opposite zodiac sign that gives you the full moon, right? And so each time when the moon is in your sign, you feel the urge to actually understand what Pisces wants to bring in this world. And Pisces is the Knight of Cups, and you are the Knight of Pentacles. We're going to get to that in a second. And so the moon here, we see Manhattan, we see that you are learning the mystery of the moon again and again when the moon is in your sign. So the 4 is left, and the 4 is of course Aries and the Emperor. This, like, I am beginning then when I have let go of what I know, I begin a completely new life. The yoga position for Scorpio is Scorpio pose. We bring our feet above our head and we really let go. And for you, of course, mountain pose here in the egg, in the giving birth of uniting the past and the future in the present moment, right? And that's always the new state of consciousness that we are able to experience. You are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the language, is also consciousness and the information, and Mercury in the tarot is the magician. And so we're gonna, of course, look at the magician and as such see what Mercury is wanting to tell you. You are the Knight of Pentacles, and as such here in Salvador Dali, the Caballero de Oros, and you see how he is going to the left, but when we become the card, he's going to the right. Is your birthday between August 13 and September 11, then this is your court card. Remember, we get the pure Virgo, right? That the dates that are here and the dates when the sun is in the zodiac sign are different, but some of them are overlapping and we get then a mix. But here, if you are the pure Virgo, then the 9 and the 6 calculated together gets the 15, and the 15 is Capricorn, is the career, is that climbing up the ladder for success, and the Knights love to do that. Knights are those kind of people who are searching for their career. You are the 6th zodiac sign, and as such then connected through the 6th house of routine and work and health. And you as a Virgo are the alchemist. Remember, you transform, you change things to the better, right? You have that innate quality deep within you, and as such, that's then the court card that I'm working with today. If your birthday is later, then maybe you want to see the next reading, because then you will have actually a mix, right? Then you have the Queen of Swords as a court card, but you're still a Virgo. Back to the last reading where we had Libra Sun giving Virgo Moon the light. The message was awareness and connection with the moon phases empowers you. And you did have the moon coming up. We see it here, right? And I'm looking right now if there is a reoccurring card coming up. We do not have a reoccurring card, and as such we can begin the reading. It is, though, a little similar, a few similar energies are there, right? And I just want to see it because it's intense. The cards that came up are quite, giving you difficult time. And so we begin the reading. We begin always with the Caballero de Oros. He is, of course, your physical form that you're taking on here in this life. And the first card that is coming up here is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is you have it all, but somehow you don't think you have it all. And you see the one cup that is here above this little tree, and a hand that's coming down and is tipping you. And you are like sad because you have these 3 cups here and you wish you had more, but you already have a lot, right? And so the 6 and the 4 turns into a 10. Turn a page on this kind of thinking, on these kind of feelings, because apparently you have a lot. You have the 3 of Cups here. That's the Empress. That's Venus. That's like you have a life a lot of people would dream of having, but somehow you are not appreciating it, right? You have come into a stagnation, and all you need to do is connect with this 1 cup, is connect to a higher love. And this is what's coming as an inspiration that's turning into the 10. The 10 is the 1 and the 0, and the 0 is always the Fool, right? Is Uranus. Now I want to see what is coming from the Mother Piece Tarot, and the 9 of Swords slightly to the left down is coming. And the 9 of Swords are nightmares, and that's always Mars in Gemini. And so somehow you are turning yourself into this personality that gets dragged down. You get these dreams. There is something that wants to come, and the dreams are always when the moon is in your sign, right? They're coming more stronger to you, and so you need to look at what is it that is lurking here in your subconscious, because the moon is the subconscious, and actually Scorpio is telling you, you gotta look at this. You gotta look at what's lurking here. And Dali painted Death card like this, right? And he says, well, here is the opportunity to actually not only transform yourself, right? I'm just gonna give you the meaning here. You not only transform yourself, but you are a living uniqueness. And this card is all about something coming to an end. Depending on whether you consider this good or bad, you will experience joy or sorrow. The card also counsels you that there is something you have to attend to. You have to let go of something and create space in which the rose may blossom, right? And the wide open landscape emphasizes the impression of a great openness or eternity. The impact of your life continues after the death of your body. And as such, you want to look at what is talking here, right, with the Nine of Swords, because somehow you feel something is not feeling good, and you feel it because the sun is in Scorpio, because we have a 10 and a 9, that's the 19, and the sun is the 19. So you going through a rebirth, and sometimes going through a rebirth is not easy, right? We reject that change, and so maybe that's why you're having these nightmares, because in a nightmare we can release some of the things that we are not able to maybe make sense of in this dimension, but in the dream world we are able to release this, right? And so the 10 is, again, when we calculate the 19 together, back. The 10, the new cycle, is coming and telling you, you gotta let go, you gotta understand that you need to awaken to a new you. Then we look at the Magician, and the Magician is bringing you the journey. And that's exactly what I feel, right? There is a journey that you're supposed to take, and for some reason this journey is difficult for you. For some reason this journey is not something that you feel like taking, and it's the 29. And the 29 is interesting because we have the 2, which is the High Priestess, and the 9, the Hermit. And so you are asked to look deeper within what it is that you want to continue, right? What your journey should look like. And when we calculate the 2 and the 9 together, we get the 11. So now we have 3 times the 1. And the 3 is the power chakra, and the 1 is the higher consciousness, right? We understand that we are the one soul, and that one soul is coming here and is wanting to lead you to this new journey up here with the owl that is showing you spread your wings, not only here in your arms but also in your mind, because in the arms you are taking yourself into your own arms, you taking care of yourself. And that's what 3 times the 1 means. Become empowered with the 11 as then here a portal that is talking to you, right? What is coming from your deck? The 10 of Swords, and that's Sun in Gemini. Meanwhile, the 9 of Swords was Mars in Gemini. And so here you have now 10 and 9, 19 swords. That's like, that's a lot of thoughts, that's a lot of worries, that's a lot of things that maybe you are realizing, right? And so you get another 1. You get 4 times the 1 here, and the 4 is go into your heart, see what is going on in the way you feel in your heart, and learn to let go, because the 10 is here, the liberation with these 3 birds. And remember, you had here 3 cups, 1, 2, 3. Now the 3 cups are liberated. It's almost saying, yes, you have come to an end. And somehow here is a bird too. It's a very interesting person here standing at the side, right? And so the 3 cups and the 3 birds somehow make sense, right? But 4 times the 1, understand clearly that you need to look at your heart, and your heart makes the decision. What is the Mother Piece Tarot bringing? It's the 8 of Wands facing down, which is Mercury in Sagittarius. And because the round cards, I cannot control them, and I love that they come the way they come, and so here it's facing down. And it's interesting because when they're facing down, shooting the arrows to the right, but when we become it, we see he's shooting it to the left. So it's almost saying the Eight of Wands, which is Mercury in Sagittarius, and the Magician is Mercury, right? So Mercury is here. It's almost like saying you need to learn now to go out, but bring it in, right? However, you need to understand that the 1 and the 8 is the 9. And so we have a 9, and here an 11 and a 10. And so we have 3 times the 1 and the 9, right? And so in a way, we could also create the 9-11 or the 11-9, which is for a lot of Americans a very special date, right? That's not always conceived as a very happy day. And so the 19 swords kind of makes sense, right? And so learn to accept that you have the 1 and the 8 as the 9, and then here 3 times the 1. Learn to be with this journey and allow that the ideas and that the action that you're taking are just bringing you exactly where you need to go to. Then we look at the Hermit, and the Hermit is getting 3 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords is Saturn in Libra, right? And Saturn in Libra is saying, well, there is actually for you this understanding that you are limited, and now you have here 10 and 9, 19 plus 3 is 22 swords, and the 22 is actually then the understanding that Uranus, the Fool, is saying you gotta begin a completely new cycle. You gotta really let go. If you have looked into your heart, because you have 3 times the 1 right on the position of the Magician, you need to then let go or do something about it, right? But something here is really telling you the 22 swords, it's like that's a magic number. That's the next step after the 11. It comes the 11, the 22, and the 33 in the secret brotherhood. And these people have really understood something, and so now comes a date, the 22nd of September, and 22nd of September is literally saying, well, understand that the 22nd of September is somehow not a very happy date for you, because for some strange reason the 22nd is like here with the 22nd swords, and that's a lot of swords, right? But if we calculate it together, we get 4 swords, and that's meditation. And in the meditation you maybe find that you can overcome that. Then I want to see what is coming from Scorpio, and the Ace of Stones is coming. And the Ace of Stones is that material aspect that you are searching for, right? You're the Knight of Pentacles, and so the stone is the pentacle, and that's the holy money. And it's almost saying, well, when you have looked at your heart, which is quite a dark abyss here, right? There is a story here that's quite painful. And so when you go up into the eagle, when you go into a higher consciousness where this kind of money is, then you can come down and land here. And so the 3 and the 1 is the 4, right? The 4 and the 9 is the 13. And the transformation again is coming. You need to transform your heart, and you need to learn that when you open your heart, new things can come to you again. And as such, you understand very clearly the message that's coming here to you. What is coming from the Mother Peace Tarot? The 10 of Coins to the left, upright, and the 10 of Coins to the left is pointing to the 3 of Swords, which is this painful heartache. But the 10 of Pentacles is Mercury in Virgo, and that's connected with you. And so you see that you are learning something, because the 10 and the 3 is the 13. And the 13 again is the transformation, is that you're learning to let go of something, that you are becoming the unique personality that is waiting, right, to be discovered. And so in a way we have the 10 and the 9, the 19 again, of course, that's the Sun in Scorpio. We have the 10 and the 3, which is the 13, which is Scorpio. And so we can calculate together here, the 9 and the 10 becomes the 10 and the 3 becomes the 13, the 4 and the 1 is the 5, and the 5 are the 5 senses, right, are here until the 5th chakra, learning to understand what the 5 means, learning to see that you are going to a journey, because here's the 11 and we had the 22, and the 5 is saying you gotta break yourself free from this limiting world, from an energy that is holding you back to really be who you meant to be. And in a way, Saturn in Libra is holding you back to enjoy also this community, to enjoy this amount of money that you have here, right? You want to enjoy it with someone that is really there with you. And so the 10 of coins and 1 coin are 11 coins, and that's the message, right? Here comes the 9-11, right? But we also had the 9-22 through the swords. And so you can choose which date of them are working for you, 9-11 or 9-22, right? And you see that here is the money and here is the heart. Now what are you choosing? Are you choosing the heart, or are you choosing the money, the success in the money, the success in the new money that enriches the old money, right? And as such, the message is quite clear: either the money or the heart. You decide. You're the magician. You're the one that sees that here something is coming to an end, and that you have these nightmares, right? And you see, when we look at them upright, she's like entangled in this bizarre world. And when it's facing down, sometimes it's saying, well, maybe you're not feeling that entanglement so strong anymore, right? Because the 9 of Swords here is saying a woman has a series of bad dreams and wakes up to face them. Then facing down to the left, she may feel vulnerable and have a low capacity for dealing with fear now. She looks at each of the fears one by one in a deep process of turning demons into allies. She understands the positive use of something she has feared inside herself. Power or energy is released because she's no longer controlled by fear. And so, in a way, the 9 of Swords reverse is helping you to actually see then you only have 13 swords left, and 13 is Scorpio. 13 is the transformation that you can make now through Scorpio, that you are able to do, because you have the 8 of Wands, right? And the 8 of Wands, I just want to read to you what it says when it's facing down. Her energy is blocked and it may not be the right time for action. If she is afraid of taking action, she may block new awareness or energy. She may also fear the ensuing responsibility related to an action. And that's what it is, right? She is actually somehow not clear in what she wants, right? And in how she's taking that journey, but somehow the journey is here, and the 11 is here, right? And the 11 is the inner teacher, and the 22 swords is the knowing that you can overcome that. So I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the Sun in Sagittarius. Here Mercury in Sagittarius has spoken. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.